Okay, and welcome family to finally the very first episode of Your Modern Enlightenment, and a series really designed just to bring you the cream of the crop knowledge and application when it comes to physical, mental and spiritual health and well-being, and just really cutting through a lot of the confusion and misinformation to really become clear about all of these aspects. And as you may know by the title of the video, today we're going to be talking about the secrets of protein and creating a really strong foundation in your vegetarian diet, or whatever words you want to use. Basically how to be sustainable without meat. So first, quickly, let's talk about the protein. Recently, there were some studies done. There's actually a new science called proteomics, which is basically designed just to look at proteins and figure out what's really happening. And what they say is, technically, you don't even need protein at all when it comes to the macronutrient. What you really want to be doing is, well, what the body does is it creates its own protein. There's over 2 million types of protein in our bodies that are unique to you in one way or another. So a lot of us might already know about essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids, and these are, well, essential amino acids are the ones that we don't create inside of our body, and the non-essential amino acids are the amino acids that we already create in our body. And that's where the uniqueness comes in, is we create different varying levels of these non-essential amino acids in our body. So then it's all about amino acids then. And when it comes to amino acids and where we're trying to get those from is plants. Plants are solar powered. Amino acids take a lot of energy to be created, just because of the structure, and you know they require a lot of metabolic energy. And because the plants are outside, they're solar powered, so they're getting all that energy, and they're able to use about 95% of the sun's energy that they're getting to create those amino acids. When it comes to the animals, they don't have that level of energy to create those, because they're eating the plants for the amino acids. So when we eat the meat, we're getting the step down recycled amino acids that the animal got from the plant. So that's out of the way. I'll leave a couple links in the description about some good videos where there's, what's the woman's name? Linda, hang on one second. Linda, where's your name?
About this play.
Linda. What's his name? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll leave some links in the description. Oh, Linda. Janice Stanger, who's got a Ph.D. in nutrition, and she's a nutritional expert. So I'll leave some links in the description about that, and you can, if you like, look into it a bit deeper. But that's basically the sum of it all. We don't have to be biochemists or anything like that to really understand this stuff. We need amino acids to create the unique proteins for our body, because it's like a daisy chain where you've got there's so many different types of protein because they're basically like chain links. So you've got your essential amino acid that you're taking in, and then you've got the non-essential amino acid that your body's creating, and they create the protein chains like that. And that's where you're getting your protein from. When it comes to eating the actual protein, you can actually eat too much protein and it can be dangerous for you, because the body, believe it or not, doesn't actually burn protein as energy, because what happens is the protein goes into the body then, because it's carbon, oxygen, hydrogen and nitrogen, which is what creates the protein, and your body can only store a certain amount of amino acids, the essential amino acids, while it creates the protein inside of you. And so what happens to the excess is, because it doesn't burn it up, it then cuts the nitrogen off, and then all of a sudden that turns into a carbohydrate. Carbon, oxygen, hydrogen becomes a carbohydrate. So then it can use that as energy and whatever. But then you're left with that nitrogen by itself, which ends up binding with hydrogen in the body and becomes ammonia. And ammonia is not the greatest thing. So what happens is that ammonia is then sent to the liver and the kidneys, which are the filters, to filter out this excess waste, whatever you want to call it. And so if you're eating too much, you can over-toxify, or basically overwhelm the kidneys, and they're working overtime. So yeah, protein, you can have too much. And yeah, I think that basically sums it up. Like I said, I'll leave some links in the description. You can go in, do a bit more of your own research, but that's basically the gist of it. So moving on to the foundation of the vegetarian diet, because lately I've been hearing a lot from people I've been speaking to and whatnot that one thing or another, they haven't been really successful with their advent into cutting out meat. Getting sick or not knowing where to start with what to cook. And even when I first cut out meat, I learnt about, I knew nothing about spirituality and all that kind of stuff, and I all of a sudden started learning about all this stuff. And the first thing that I was kind of taught, that because it's all connected, mind, body, spirit's all connected, things that you take into your body, things that you can take into your mind can and will affect you spiritually. And the first thing that I was taught, one of the major things, was the meat. And so overnight I went vegan. Anyone who's known me or whatever in the past, I was one of the biggest carnivores that I knew, so it was kind of a big jump for me. And so not knowing even how to cut vegetables at that time, I was in this mindset where I was like, well, it's either vegan or starve. So I had to, actually the first night I was in the kitchen, I was like, I have no fucking idea what to do. Sorry for the French. I had no idea what to do. I actually walked outside and I was looking up at the stars like, what do I do? I shed a couple tears, like, man, can I even accomplish this? I was looking at all these recipes on the internet, and it seemed like you needed to be a gourmet chef to make all these fancy Instagram vegan meals and blah blah blah. And I've always kind of had the mindset of, the general, like, for the last, I don't know, since I was in even high school, I was kind of doing the meal prep thing with the gym meals and doing all my meals and having them set out, 5 meals a day, blah blah blah. So I already was in that mindset of simple, easy, balanced meals that I can prepare very quickly and be sustained throughout the day. You know, a quick, easy breakfast, a lunch that I can eat at work or whatever, and then dinner, you know, maybe I can come home and make something fancy or whatever. But the key of what I was really doing was simple, fast, minimal effort. And so now I started, well, not now, but you know, during that transition, I started to use those older skills that I'd learnt with this new way that I wanted to live. And what that turned into was me making the same quick, easy, minimal effort meals, but completely vegetarian. Well, in this case, vegan, just because it's simple, not a lot of ingredients, and it tastes really nice. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Just some of the easy, quick, simple things that I use, because with the vegetarian thing, you still need your staple. So meat eater, you got the meat. You have the meat with every meal or whatever. Making it easier for yourself is having a staple, because what we learned with the protein is that you need all of your essential amino acids, so you can create properly the proteins for yourself, for your own health. And you know, that's all what it's really about. So we talk about the vegetable complete protein, which is the staple. So, you know, whatever that be, quinoa is a complete protein, and all that means is that one food source contains all of the amino acids that you need that are more readily available, or they call bioavailability, more available with the least amount of effort for your body to extract the nutrients from that food. And what that means is you're spending less energy on digestion, so you have more energy for yourself, for whatever you want to use it on. So you're running your body more efficiently. You're spending less energy on digestion, and you're getting more nutrients for the energy spent on that digestion that you still obviously have to do. And so, yeah, that's basically the canvas of the vegetarian diet, or whatever. You know, we don't have to use diet or labels or anything like that, but this is the foundation. You know, you got your quinoa, buckwheat protein. You know, you can look it up, just like complete vegetable protein. If you want something more in like a shake form, you can get, or like a powder form. When it comes to vegetable protein, all vegetable protein is say you get brown rice dry, and then you use the Vitamixer or blender and you blend it into a powder. There, that's your vegetable protein powder there. So when it comes to complete amino acids or complete vegetable protein in the powder form, you need to get brown rice protein, pea protein, and hemp protein, and them three mixed together actually creates the complete protein. There, with all those three together, you're getting all of the essential amino acids in that, and then you can blend it up with milk or whatever, put it in your juice, blend it up, and bam. So yeah, and from there you can kind of really, it's like I said, the canvas, you can use whatever kind of other paint you really want, or whatever foods you really like, and add into that. So let's get into the kitchen and I'll show you that. Alright, hello. I've just recently moved into a new place, so kitchen, you know, ain't the biggest, so I've got my camera up sitting on top of my fridge just to try to get the whole scene, get it all happening. So hopefully you can, let me just double check, you can see all this. Alright, so here we are. We've got our quinoa, our complete vegetable protein. We actually got this stuff from Costco. So, you know, big bag, oh, where's the lighter? Big bag of quinoa, organic. You know, we'll talk about the organic thing in another video. But organic quinoa, what is it? A kilo, 1.5 kilos, it was like $12 or something. Easy, that, and you only use like well, for me, I only eat like half a cup a day. So, lasts you a while is what I'm trying to say. So we're gonna have quinoa here. One of the questions was, how do you prepare quinoa? And it's pretty simple. It's if you got like a rice cooker, it's the same as rice. So over here, I don't know if you can see, you've got the juicer there. So here we are. Plug this in. Rice cooker. You know, simple stuff. We've got our cup here. What is this? Half a metric cup. Just take one of those, chuck it in. Trying to put the wrong lid on the wrong thing. Anyway, get that. Get our water. We've got 1 cup here, 250 mils. One cup here. Pour it in. I usually go 1 and a bit, so it's rough. You got half a cup to basically 1 and a bit cups water. And then, boom. Switch it on, let it go. That's the start of the simplicity of it. So what I generally do is I wake up in the morning, I'll, like a zombie, get out of bed, walk into my kitchen, put the quinoa on, and then it takes like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then I go start, you know, waking up properly, getting the rest of my clothes and stuff sorted for work, whatever. I generally make my juice in the morning. You know, we've got some fruit and veg there, just blend it all up. It's because it's a juicer, not just a blender. It takes all the fibre out, and first thing in the morning, you're trying to wake up your stomach. So if you give it a lot of heavy fibre to try to digest straight away, it's like a train. You know, it's slow to start up and then it starts to get faster and faster. So low fibre meal in the morning, you know, it's still fruit and veg, so you're going to get some amino acids, a lot of vitamins and minerals from it, and what I found it a good way to start my day. So while that's cooking, we'll go through some of the ingredients here. So what we're going to make today is a savoury version of the quinoa food and a sweet version, because you know you need some variety. If you have savoury all the time, you'll want something sweet, or vice versa. So what we do for the savoury, or what I do for the savoury, is I get my quinoa, I get some pesto. So here we got some nice, you know, dairy, gluten-free, blah blah blah, pesto, roasted red capsicum on this one, and this one we got coriander, chili and lime. I usually take so we've got half a cup of the quinoa in there. I take like half a tablespoon, a whole tablespoon of one, blop it in, whole tablespoon of the other, blop it in, mix it around. We've got some salad sprouts. You know, you got your sprouted seeds here. You know, very good enzymes, a lot of nutrition in that, and just adds like a crunch and earthiness to the food. We also got sun-dried tomatoes here. This is one of the main things that I like in this. You know, it adds, you know, that flavour with the tomatoes and the oil and the herbs. And I didn't really know about sun-dried tomatoes until a few months ago, so I'm kind of still on the sun-dried tomato train. Also, you can get some nuts going in there. Got some raw almonds here. You know, again, just more healthy nutrients, more stuff to bump up the flavour, because, you know, it's not just to be quick and, you know, whatever, quick, easy, simple, whatever. It's also got to be really tasty, because if it's your staple, you know, I eat this every single day. Besides maybe the weekends or whatever, I'll go out and I'll get something or go somewhere, because, you know, it's always nice to go out and, you know, get looked after for once. So yeah, that's kind of the savoury thing, really nice. yeah, that's about it. For the sweet one, we've got honey. I like raw honey. I think it's a lot better tasting. It's less, I don't know. You have your preference. I like raw honey. I like this one. Got it cheap. Again, organic and raw. We got the big tub of it from Costco. I think it was like $15 or whatever. And that lasts ages. So however much you like honey, you go to town with whatever you want. Also get some peanut butter. I like peanut butter. The peanut butter kind of mixes with the honey and the quinoa, and it kind of, to me, tastes like chocolate cake. So I got this fully healthy meal, whatever, easy to digest, and it tastes like chocolate cake. So call it cheating, whatever, I think it's smart. Also, we got some goji berries here, dried. You add them in, it kind of sucks up the honey and they get nice and plump. And again, Wise Nutrition, the highest antioxidants in fruit, I'm pretty sure. And antioxidants is basically anti-rust proof for your insides. Your antioxidants, oxygen, oxidization, rust, blah, blah, blah. So really good for pushing in energy potential into the body. And yeah, again, you can go for the nuts in with the sweet version. I like also walnuts. Just mixed nuts in general. They're all going to be good. They add the crunch to it. And the whole point with the variety of ingredients is that not every mouthful tastes the same. Also, just for a bit of extra added health, I put in bee pollen granules. For those who are worried about the B vitamin deficiencies and all that kind of stuff, I actually learnt that a B12, I think it's the one they talk about, B12 deficiency takes about 10 years to kick in. So, just a little precaution in case that 10 years catches up to me pretty quickly. So, yeah, and that's about it. That's kind of what I do, but you can obviously put in whatever you want. I recently had it like fried rice, the quinoa as like fried rice. I put in soy sauce and nuts and blah blah blah, and it tasted really nice with the soy sauce. So it's, like I said, the blank canvas. You can really do whatever you want with it. And yeah, so I think we're going to wait for this to cook. What else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, so with the body and kind of if you're in the mindset to really cut out meat or even just try to eat less of it, because I know that even before I quit meat, I was getting really sick of smelling raw meat, cooking raw meat, handling it and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes you just have those urges. Like some people can get control of those more animalistic primal urges for meat and the carnal state of mind. When they make the transition, they can get that under control pretty easily. But some people, me included, who had a bit more difficult time with the meat cravings and blah blah blah, is actually a solution for that, thankfully, because what I learnt was that there's three aspects to our consumption. We've got the animal body, which is basically aspects of ourself that we need to keep in balance. So we've got the animal body, the plant body, and the mineral body. So all this stuff here, all perfect for the plant body, perfect for your general body function and how your body really functions in its creating its own proteins. You're not just, okay, I'm going to eat this cow and this cow's protein is going to go in me, and then I have protein from the cow. You know, we spoke about that. It's not how it works. So we've got all your things to create the protein, all the essential amino acids. And then if you're still feeling like you're missing out, or you're not feeling that animalistic strength, then you can use something like egg whites. What I learned about egg whites is that it's not part of the animal itself. It's actually what the yolk feeds on as it's in its development. So again, complete protein, all the amino acids, or all the essential amino acids here. It's even, got the list on the back, and I don't know if you can see that. I'm kind of still figuring out this camera setup, blah blah blah. So with the egg whites, it still counts as animal protein, even though there's no harm. You're not eating the flesh directly, and the whole thing about the meat is actually the plasma in the blood, and also the body not being able to fully break down the meat, and then that you got that decaying, undigested meat sitting in your stomach for a few days, and then building up in your lower intestines and leading to all other things. And we'll talk about that in more detail in the detoxing episode. I'll go into cleansing the organs and the filters, and why you would want to do that, and how that helps you with your health. But with the egg whites itself, it doesn't have the plasma and that kind of stuff, and it's actually 100% assimilable to the body. So your body can make really good use of this, and it's not going to weigh you down and clog you up. And this is what's going to help wean you off the plant, wean you off wanting to actually consume the animal. And also, if you need that extra boost to stay physically strong, it's not that we're demonizing the physical, we're trying to get all these three in balance. So plant body, taken care of. Animal body, if you need it, taken care of. Mineral body, it's a little bit, I wouldn't say more complex, but it's something that's not really talked about that much when it comes to health. You have stuff like your multivitamins and those kind of things, but that's why you're seeing in the health shops a lot of the colloidal minerals, which is the mineral in the atomic form in the water or whatever, and then you consume that, and then you have that the metal in your body. And actually, if you take if you take the L out of metal and rearrange the letters, you actually have meat there. So if you're feeling still that you need some more power or whatever, you're not feeling as strong, then you can definitely get into the mineral body, and that's another part that we should be balancing out. So it's the plant, the animal, and the mineral body. But I'll probably make a separate video about the minerals themselves, because it goes a lot into there's no point really. It's like a whole nother can of worms, but I'll be sure I'll probably bring that out in the next episode. Still, I'm just settling into this house and blah blah blah, but we're here now, and yeah, we're doing good. So I think we'll let this thing cook, and yeah, I don't have a script or anything. I'm just going off the top of the head. So what can we do with the egg whites? I should probably talk about that. So the egg whites, you could, what I used to do before I even stopped eating meat, I used to use egg whites. I would make scrambled eggs. So I would just get some, you probably know about the Vegeta or the stock or whatever. You can mix some of that in, mix in some milk, stir it up. There you got scrambled egg whites. I used to have that just on like a multigrain muffin or something like that. Nowadays, how I use this is when I cook my pasta sauce, I'll cook the sauce. You got your tomato paste and your garlic. You fry up the garlic, you fry up the mushroom, whatever you want. Put in the sauce, and then as that's simmering and boiling, you actually can just pour this straight in. That'll cook through, it'll make it a little bit thicker, but it's actually really, really nice. Adding egg whites to your pasta sauce, and that's just going to help beef that up. You're going to get the complete protein from the pasta sauce, as well as all the other amino acids that you're going to get from your vegetables and your fruit. And yeah, what else I do is with my juices, sometimes, my work can get pretty demanding physically sometimes, and even, training pretty hard at the gym, or, riding my bike to work, or just exercise in general. If you have like a highly active lifestyle, and you want some, extra whatever, you can pour some of this in your juice. So, I juice all this, it comes in, and then I just mix that in, shake it up, and, no difference. You can't taste it. It doesn't really have much of a taste, and you can just mix it in like that raw, and I haven't had any problems with that. And I think that's about it. We'll just wait for our quinoa to cook, and then slap it all together and call it a day, I think. And in saying that, we'll see you soon. Alright, so our quinoa's popped and ready to go. Just remember to turn off your rice cooker when it's done. Got our quinoa here. Can we see? Nicely cooked. I add that little bit extra water just to make the quinoa a bit juicier, because sometimes it can come out a little bit dry-ish. So, for the purpose of the video, I'm just going to split this 1 cup in half so we can get a visual on both of our... Actually, screw it. You don't need to see me make both, because I'll take this to work tomorrow. But, so we're cooked up. Not that many dishes. The rice cooker pan's non-stick, so it's easy to get the stuff out. So tomorrow, I feel like I'm gonna want some savoury, so we'll do the savoury one. We've got our spoon here. Pesto, half tablespoon, whatever. Slap it in. Other pesto, doesn't have to be perfect. It's in the morning. You don't have all that time, and you try to minimise the time that we need to spend on our nutrition while still maximising and getting a balanced diet. Chuck some sprouts in, chuck it back in the fridge. Now, handful of nuts, easy peasy. Back in the cupboard. And last but definitely not least, our sun-dried tomatoes. I normally chuck a couple extra just because, as you know, I like these sun-dried tomatoes. Back in the fridge, that's all our ingredients in there. Mix it around. Get the pesto nice and mixed through. And there we are. Ready to go. I'll give you a close up. Oh. Let's see if we can. Oh. So here we are. Doesn't look like much, but There's your balanced, easy to digest, complete protein work meal or whatever you want to use it for. Ready to go. Minimal effort. Done. And there we have it. Simple, easy. I've said it all a few times already, but yeah, give it a try if you like it. If not, you know, you got the quinoa there, and just add whatever, mix it up, and you'll find it eventually, and then voila, you got all your nutrients there, ready to go, be fueled for whatever you're trying to achieve. And until next time, this has been Jesse with Your Modern Enlightenment, and I'll see you soon. Bye.